Ticats win 38-8 over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers on Sunday. I'm here with the Spec Steve Milton. And Steve, it was actually 14-8 for Emmanuel Davis over the Bombers, two pick sixes.
That's right. Even if the Hamilton offense doesn't show up, they win the game by 6 points. And it's funny, there's almost a perfect symmetry to it, Drew. When I think it was about 77 or 80 seconds into the game, from the start of the game, he scores a pick six, and about 100 seconds from the end of the game. So it was in the intervening 57 minutes, basically. The Ticats showed why they might be the best team in the league right now. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think they're certainly in the discussion. That first half, they looked excellent. Zach Collaros able to take advantage of the short field and also threw the 58-yard touchdown to Terrence Tolliver that I thought sort of stepped on the neck of the Bombers.
That's right.
But the second half, they weren't nearly as efficient.
Yeah, they seemed to lose some focus there. And I think I heard you say to somebody that perhaps the urgency wasn't there. And because of the 31-0 lead at the half and because of the sort of ease with which, when they seemed to really want to go at it, they were able to succeed on the offense. But it is a bit of a disturbing trend, and I think Collaros mentioned that at the end of the game. He seemed, and you pointed this out, not for all that happy for a guy that won by 23 points.
Ticats now 4-2 on the season and 9-0 here at Tim Hortons Field. Players were talking about it again after the game. I don't know how you quantify a home field advantage, but it's certainly turning into something special.
One way you quantify it is 9-0.
Yeah,
and I think Hickman said after the game something to the effect of, we joked about this at first, but it's becoming, and I can't remember the second part, but it's becoming a little more real to us now. There's a bit of a, you got to watch this because it can build up and become bigger than the actual game that you play. And I know Austin, and I know that Orlando Steinauer and all the other coordinators aren't going to basically allow that to happen, but it's really hard on an individual level to not let that pressure of maintaining some kind of streak. I'm not saying it'd be nice to have a loss, but there is pressure involved in that when you've got two things going on: the drive to win the Grey Cup, but also to maintain. And everybody here wants to see that. Everybody wants to be part of this magic. I mean, it's sold out all the time, and everybody's going to be able to say, "I was there for those 10, 12, 14, or whatever it is."
Well, I think part of the thing that you're referring to, though, is the fact that this team seems to be making that transition from good team to great team. So where they're 4-2, but they're starting to play well every week, win games they're supposed to win. It's different than the last couple of seasons where there was some progress and then they step back and there'd be some progress. Now it's like we're playing well every week.
Two things. I mean, I think, has Collaros played yet? Basically, I think he just reached a full season as a Tiger Cat, right?
Yeah.
When you
factor in the injuries and all
and all of those kinds of things. So that's one thing. And he doesn't panic. And I mean, he looked a lot. The style of the game today, even though he wasn't happy with it, looked an awful lot. And we talked about this during the game when he replaced Ricky Ray, and for those 7 games, that real scrambling, and sometimes maybe tries to extend the play a little bit too much, but most of the time it works. And a couple of them were unbelievable, where he was falling backwards, looking at the sky, knew a guy was out there and hits him for the touchdown. I mean, those kinds of things you really can't make up. Those things are part of of your DNA, and it's nice to see in this offense. And the defense allows them to do that, because if it does screw up a little bit, like on the interception, when the first interception down the side, there's a confidence that the defense will either get the ball, it's not going to cost them. And that's been happening on both sides of the ball, where if we make a mistake, it's not going to cost them. Or it's great to see that the defense, Emmanuel Davis, who had an outstanding game, had a pretty good game last week. And after the game, he talked about knowing that if you make a play, then the offense will take advantage of it. Well, they didn't this game, of course. This isn't a criticism. The reason they didn't take advantage of Davis's 2 great plays is because he ran them both into the end zone. So an amazing game for him on his birthday, too. Just amazing. But I think that's part of the evolution that you're talking. I'd call it more of an evolution than a transition. Maybe a transition on the offense. Evolution for sure on the defense, because if you remember in those first years of this defense, there were some kind of, there wasn't even pressure, it was hurries, but very few interceptions, very few sacks. And that started to change near the end of the year. Last year, there were hurries and not constant pressure. The sacks were starting to come, the interceptions started to come. Well, this year they're all there, the hurries, the pressure, the sacks, the interceptions, and they're all interrelated. They can jump the ball. He jumped the route on his first interception, even though the ball was tipped. He had already started to jump that route. Why? Because he knew there was pressure. And same on the second one. Brian Brome was under pressure, and Davis just had to step in front of the receiver, and it was going to be there for a walk-in.
Make sure you read Monday Spectator for Steve's column and my game story, and check out 3 Down Nation for all the up-to-the-minute CFL news. Reporting for the Hamilton Spectator with Steve Milton, I'm Drew Edwards.